It's about 0-100 or 1200. Oh, 1201. I found the secret key to a very special non-existent place. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, antigenic shift and antigenic drift. Nope. Okay. I was speaking to Susan on the telephone. I did get through. We connected on the phone. On speakerphone. Here on speakerphone. There, I believe, on speakerphone. I'm not sure. Antigenic shift and antigenic drift. No. How viruses... Oh, definitely no. Replicate, then definitely no. Okay, way there. In the cell, of course, the RNA and DNA, no, okay. She did Google at all, right? And the subject area was measles parties. I believe she summed it all up with some crazy woman out of California doesn't like vaccinations, maybe just because she had one. Or she just was vaccinated and got a booster or not yet. I explained to her that the vaccinations are scheduled in the CDC understanding of recommended, that some people, like conscientious objectors, do not get vaccinations, but that obviously, if to eradicate measles, that the vaccination was not administered the 12 months to 1 year later, 2 years later, or whatever. That the first vaccination was not given, the booster was, or the first vaccination was given and the booster was not, or no vaccinations were given, or vaccinations were given. And that's about it. And all of the above and none of it. And. Whatever. She agreed with me that that was possible, of course. And she Googled. She realized and read to me from the screen, or not, or whatever, that before 1957, those say, are not, required, of course. It is not recommended, or do not need, or are not required to have boosters, vaccinations, unless, of course, they might be first-hand staff nurses, pretty much. That is recommended that people really consider having vaccinations. I would think the doctor would think about that. Those say born or around age group before 1957. When we think of COVID-19, and Susan did say, you mean COVID-2? It's like pulling teeth. I don't care what you call whatever the fuck you come up with. I worked too hard for this, and too bad. Anyway, COVID-19 I described to her like a giant tree trunk. That the tree will have branches, and that the branches will have limbs and leaves, and that the branches and leaves of the tree will shadow out other viruses and bacteria. I explained to her that viruses are intelligent life forms living forever, and that they're very friendly, and that some are more friendly than others are. And that an example of eradication is that chicken pox is not really around a lot. Like a booster, chicken pox is not really around a lot, and shingles likes their co-conspirator in love, chicken pox, and then of course shingles, and 1 1/3 people get them. Oh well, or get vaccinated, right? Because that's not really true, but it is, but it isn't. I told her that if you want to go to someone with shingles and pick a scab and eat it, then you can have shingles. Why not? Because she is that way. Ripley's Believe It. She's wrong 3,000,000,000% of the time. And whatever. She never said, well, I guess measles parties are acceptable to her. I have my picture. This is me. And that is Susan, who looks like me, and I look like my mother, or not. And this is my voice, and too bad, A. A is a word. I thought reading books and really putting a lot of thought into all sorts of really presented to me as problems to solve. I was wrong. I was mistaken. If I had known that the answer is that I end up dead, then what? Then I never would have read a book? You do get that joke, right? I explained to Susan that back in the day that John Fitzgerald Kennedy expired and people became psychosomatically ill, which is real, and that clinics and emergency rooms were accessed and the healthcare system was built, and it's broke here and it's broke there and it don't work or whatever. I went all the way to mercury is a stabilizer? No. Preservative. Found in vaccinations. Now, here's the technicality. And I would have to Google it, and I'm not going to Google it. There is an area in Massachusetts. Quite a huge area in Massachusetts. The doctor is clearly giving vaccinations on schedule to children perfectly. This would be head honcho dude has the ultimate glory, and there is a problem. All right, we might think the water is contaminated with mercury, or not, as well. I insist that the vaccination batches should be looked into. Yes, Susan did go this way. But Facebook, the algorithms are written so that people will not have information. Susan, whatever. Facebook wants to live forever like a virus. And it wants people to go out there and get more and more. Why would an algorithm for Facebook be written to prohibit anything? And she didn't say anything, no comment from her, but she didn't bother me too much with that anymore. I explained to her that I'm incredibly loyal anyway, but that Facebook is really it for me, I think. And then she said, the enemy, what is that? Blue Sky. Whatever. I said, well, if you need me to Blue Sky, you just let me know, or whatever. And then, I asked her if she found that on Facebook. She said something like yes, but I'm not sure at all. And then I explained to her the difference between abiding by the law and just being a complaint or whatever. I said Facebook is constrained by laws in all sorts of countries. There was a lawsuit, for example, the writers of newspapers or whatever, and their blogs and all of that, like they weren't getting anything. Yes, there's a problem with that. Okay, Facebook, they filed suit or whatever. Facebook said, okay, this is the way it is. We must, and then Canada was not able to. There were, literally and figuratively, the free press or whatever the crap is. Enough. Nobody went there. Nobody, said I'm free or started up their own moonlighting or whatever, wrote or did the research, or it didn't happen. But a storm and somebody needs the article and the work to be done, but you can't. And I thought of it as project, or I was quite inspired myself, but that as an activity, it was a challenge. Yes, many people were like, ooh, Facebook is the enemy. So Facebook hires more lawyers, something to do with money, I guess. I write my own wiki on what to do with money, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go shopping. Good for me. Of course, I'm not hungry. Don't really want to go shopping. I would like to get some cash, and I have to buy something to get cash, or go to the bank to get cash. I'm not going to the bank. I could end up at the library from hell. I really don't want to go there either. That way. Obviously. Oh, wow. 1325.